YouTube fans, how you going? I just a quick introduction. I discovered this AI chat, which speaks multiple languages. I wanted it for Italian language to help me with Italian, but it's also got access to like GPT-4, the artificial intelligence. So I find it really helpful to ask questions that I'm trying to like brainstorm. Anyway, you get their idea as soon as I speak with it. So let's call this AI called Isabella. Yeah, I got a Jesus Christ one there too. That's really interesting. An AI Jesus Christ. But that's another story. Let's see if this works. Hello, Isabella.
Hello, how can I assist you today?
So I wanted to talk about the pros and cons of leaving permanently to live in Europe. Can you help me with that?
Certainly, I can help you with that. Leaving permanently to live in Europe can certainly have its pros and cons. On the one hand, Europe has a rich cultural heritage, a diverse landscape, and a high standard of living, which can be appealing to many people. Additionally, living in Europe can provide opportunities to experience new cultures, learn new languages, and explore different places. On the other hand, relocating to a new country can also come with challenges, such as adjusting to a different culture, language barriers, and leaving behind friends and family. Additionally, the cost of living and visa requirements may also be factors to consider.
So I'm okay with the visa requirements. I'm a European citizen. How would I deal with my household goods? Let's start with that.
As a European citizen, you likely have the right to live and work in any member state of the European Union without the need for a visa, which is a significant advantage. Regarding your household goods, it's important to consider how you want to transport them to your new home in Europe. You may have the option to ship them, rent a storage unit, or even sell or donate items that you no longer need. It's also worth researching the customs regulations and requirements for importing household goods into different European countries to ensure a smooth and hassle-free move.
I think that importing would cost too much, so I think that's not an option. So how could I deal with my property here locally in my city?
If importing your household goods is not an option due to cost, you may want to consider other options for dealing with your property in your current location. One potential option is to sell your belongings and use the proceeds to purchase new items when you move to Europe. You can sell your furniture, appliances, and other items through online marketplaces, local classifieds, or even through a garage sale. You can also consider donating items to charities or organizations to help those in need. This would allow you to start fresh in your new home in Europe without the burden of moving heavy and bulky items.
So I've got big items, which would be my motor vehicles. So I think you said that I would be best off selling those vehicles and then buying something in Europe rather than storing them here because that would cost too much. Is that correct?
Yes, selling your motor vehicles and buying new ones in Europe may be the most practical option. The cost of storing them for an extended period of time may not be worth the effort and financial burden. Instead, you can sell your vehicles and use the proceeds to purchase new ones once you are settled in Europe. Be sure to research the vehicle regulations and requirements in your new location before purchasing a new one to ensure that you comply with all local laws and guidelines.
What if there's something in my house, a keepsake or whatever, that I just cannot part with?
If you have items in your house that are of sentimental value and you cannot part with them, you have a few options. One option is to carefully pack and ship them to your new location in Europe, although this may come at a cost. Another option is to find a trusted friend or family member who can hold on to the items for you until you are settled in your new home, and then you can arrange for them to send it to you at a later date. Another idea is to consider downsizing your belongings and only bringing the essentials with you. and leaving the sentimental items behind.
Those are really good points. I like your point about maybe a trusted family member can hang on to something like, for example, my accordion. I just bought it. I don't want to. It's too heavy to take. It's like 10 kilos, and I don't want to sell it. So, what was the other thing you said?
The other option I mentioned was to consider downsizing your belongings and only bringing the essentials with you. This means that you would only pack the items that you absolutely cannot do without, rather than bringing your entire household with you to Europe. This could involve leaving behind non-essential items such as furniture, home decor, and other bulky items. Downsizing can help make your move more manageable and more cost-effective, and it can also help you prioritize what truly matters to you.
Downsizing is a really good idea. So basically, before you leave, that you know that you're going to leave, then have a kind of minimalistic lifestyle, correct?
Yes, downsizing and living a more minimalist lifestyle before leaving to live in Europe is a great idea. This means that you would be packing only the essentials and leaving behind unnecessary items that would be too costly or cumbersome to transport. Additionally, living a minimalist lifestyle can help you reduce your belongings and make the transition to a new country much easier, as you'll be less cluttered and have fewer things to manage. It can also be a way to focus on what truly matters and live more intentionally in your new home in Europe.
So to start here to sort out my gear is very overwhelming. Do you have any tips?
Starting the process of sorting out your belongings and preparing for a move can be overwhelming, but there are some tips that can help make the process easier. Firstly, it's important to start early and not wait until the last minute. This will give you more time to sort through your things, donate or sell what you don't need, and prepare for the move. You can also start by making a list of everything you own and grouping items into categories. For example, you can create a list for kitchen items, clothing, furniture, and sentimental items. This will help you identify what you truly need to take with you and what you.
Yeah, sorry, I bumped the microphone. Before we talked about the pros and cons, so um, I'm going to hang up for a second, and because we've already talked about it, I'm going to discuss it myself. So I'm just hanging up for a minute, guys. Here's in the pros column, right? Cost of living, you have more purchasing power in some countries in Europe. This is the pros. The cultural experience, new opportunities, work-life balance. Healthcare is good in Europe generally, although maybe not as good as Australia here. Travel opportunities. So in Europe, it's a lot closer than we are in Australia. For example, it takes me 2 days to get from here to Rome. Yeah, 2 days travel, 24 hours. That's flying. The weather and the environment, well, we've got good weather here. New social circles, that's interesting. New adventures and personal growth, that's what I strive for. Language skills, yes. More time for hobbies and passions. And let's see if the pros go on. Yeah, so the pros, lower cost of living. There's possibly business ideas you could do, although that's health related. Career prospects, new career prospects, climate and environment, safety, new experiences. We said that new friends, new partner, maybe healthcare. But there are healthcare problems which might go over the con side. So the cons, this is now the con side, right? So what would be bad? It's disrupt your relationships, I guess, with your family and friends. There are cultural challenges, so that would be language barrier and things like that. Legal and financial challenges, because you don't exactly know the legal system or visa system or whatever, the permanent residency system. You may get homesick, you may get lonely. That's a real big one. There are career changes, although anyway, that's another story. Culture shock, lack of familiar comforts. Yeah, the things that you like, the things that you buy, Vegemite might be hard to find. Disrupt routines and stability, financial challenges, because you're paying rent, for example. Different education, healthcare, and pharmacy bills. Yep, so the pharmacy, the drugs may cost more. So the cons I had here: leaving family and friends. I think we spoke about that. The visas, taxes, homesick and loneliness, which we talked about. And a bigger one is isolation, although you need to find new friends in the place that you go. Cultural clashes. Definitely cultural clashes. Loss of social support. Yeah, because your family's not there. But then you should video chat with them. We've got the internet now. I remember I was in Rome and I spoke to my sister and I said, it's like you're right next to me. Like, it's so clear. I couldn't believe it. E.g., and then technology challenges and power. Power's another one. I had issues in certain countries with the power cutting out, and I've got a CPAP machine, and so I couldn't use my CPAP. So that was a challenge. And then places I've stayed in Italy, their Wi-Fi is terrible, really is. At the time, that's probably 10 years ago or more. So I think that's some major points I wanted to cover. I just wanted to get it all down. And, well, I may do this again, but I think this is helpful for me to get it out there mentally, to brainstorm, and it may help other people. So I hope this helped you. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Teacher Sal out. God bless. Ciao.